The work culture is the one makes me more happy than the personal.
They start the morning at around 6:30. They come to office and they end the office usually by 4 o'clock. So
And what about the sick leaves? What is the concept of sick leaves? And then
Sometimes I feel that getting an apartment is more difficult than getting a job in Berlin.
so in my opinion, bureaucracy has again two sides. Like sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not good.
hi Raman, hi Siddharth. I'm so happy today to have you guys on the channel again, coming here and sharing your experiences after moving to Germany, personal, professional. So I'm definitely sure it's going to be very useful for the people who are watching this video. Okay, let us begin. So Raman, can you please start with your brief introduction?
Hi, Sandeep. Yeah, thanks for inviting me again to this channel. I'm Raman Muthu, working as a cloud DevOps engineer for the past 8 months in Berlin.
Perfect, perfect. And maybe Siddharth, you can also tell us about yourself.
Yeah, thank you, Sandeep, for inviting again. And my name is Siddharth, and I'm here in Germany for the past, say, 1 year, and I'm currently working in a company in Germany.
Perfect, perfect. And my next question to you guys will be when and how did you come to Germany? So maybe Raman, you can go first.
Yeah, I came with the job seeker visa in the month of July 2020, in the end of July 2020, and I got the job in the first week of August,
Perfect.
and I joined from September 1st.
Nice, nice. And Siddharth, what about you?
So I came here on job seeker visa in starting of 2020, that's January 2020, and that was a Corona time a little bit. So I got a job on the later of last year, so July. Yeah.
Perfect. That's nice because yeah, it was difficult for everyone and specifically jobs were less. So that is totally obvious. Okay, it's going to take some time. Let's go further deep into the interview. So what things did you like at the personal level when you came here?
Yeah, after coming here, I can feel my standard of living has been improved a lot. I mean, the work culture and the personal health life and the environment. And yeah, obviously, my family also like this new place and they get adapted so easily. And that's a main change I see in my personal life after coming here.
Perfect, perfect. So I have a follow-up question to you, Raman here. So
Yeah.
like you said, standard of living, and then you
Okay.
said the personal health. So can you
Yeah.
can you give the like brief explanation on that?
Okay. So when I say the health lifestyle means in the way the air pollution and the peaceful life, what we have here, which is not usually found in India, and I feel a lot of difference when it comes to the air quality and other ways of living here.
Perfect, perfect. Okay, that's definitely nice for someone to know who is sitting not in Germany, not sitting in EU. So that's a big difference. And as you already mentioned about the standard, that's also a big difference for sure. So what's your take on that question, Siddharth? Like, what do you like at the personal level here in Germany when you are working here? So what things do you like?
Yeah, so at a personal level, I would also uh, have the same thing what Raman has said, and apart from that, I also feel like the people are very good here, and they are more disciplined, and we can have that a very professional way of talking with people, and all things are disciplined. For example, you travel in some trains or in buses and so on, so you man, that's very good. Like the bus will come at right time. So those things are not available back in India. So these are some of the things which are completely different from our Indian background. So this I like very good, and yeah, and yeah, these are the few things which you can say that yeah, this is very nice to experience.
And yes, that's totally correct. So my next question is, are you guys already settled in or some things are still ongoing? Maybe Raman, you can go first.
Okay. I mean, initially I got settled, and now I moved in with my family, and there are a lot of stuffs to be sorted with regards to the family as well now. So I'm in process of that, and yeah, all the process are straightforward here, and I'm doing everything in steps, step by step. Yeah, it's all going good.
So maybe you can also tell, like, is it a smooth process or is it complicated? How is it? Like somebody moved in here and got the blue card, and now family is moving in, spouse is coming in, and if someone has the kids, so they are also moving in. So are these things going smooth for you, or is it a little bit challenging?
uh, I won't say it's smooth. At the same time, it's not challenging as well. I mean, like there are some certain process which you need to follow, and the documents you need to be prepared. So everything is in place, and everything will be going smoothly. There is no issue among it. But preparing those documents in the new place, and the wait time is obviously very high, and especially due to this COVID situations. So these are the things you have to keep in mind while processing all these things.
So that means you are enjoying the German bureaucracy.
Yeah, obviously. I mean, like I have to get used to it, right?
Yeah, perfect, perfect. Yeah, that's good. And what about you, Siddharth? Like, so are still something going on your side? Are you settled in? And what's the
Yeah,
situation?
yeah. On the job side, it's a settle in, but on the personal side, I'm still settling at one place because I just got transferred from one office to other office in other city. So that's taking time because you have to find a house and you have to find some furniture, and you know about the bureaucracy here. It's not so easy because everything, the paperwork is much, and there is a long period of waiting, and especially during these periods of corona times, and the things are getting very slow. So in that sense, I would say I'm still settling in, not completely settled yet, but still settling in. And the process of visa for family and everything, it takes a longer right now. So I'm not yet settled yet. I can say that. So it's
Maybe, yeah.
going on.
Yeah, your case is little bit different as we discussed earlier. So maybe is it normal, like Raman said earlier, that okay, he moved in July and then got the job immediately next month. Okay, so how is it like? What's your take on that? Like somebody moves in, so is it going to take that much time, like in generally, or it's just your exception in your case because you got the transfer and then you have to do everything again. So is it the
Yeah,
reason or is it the general case?
yeah, that's the reason I would say personally about me. So that's the reason. Otherwise, settling in German. So if you get a job at particular city, then settling in personally self is not so much difficult. Yeah. So you see a house, you see the rent and everything, then that's it. And if you want to settle with family, of course, it definitely takes some time. And for personally, in my case, that has been different because I just changed from one city to other city. But otherwise, settling in Germany should take around 4 months, 3 to 4 months. You should be able to settle in Germany. It's not so difficult when you have a right place of work.
Sometimes I feel that, I mean, like getting an apartment is more difficult than getting a job in Berlin. I really face that struggle. I mean, like when I moved alone, I just moved in with some friends, and I can move into shared apartments. But when I start searching for home for my family, it took a long time, and it was very huge process.
Yeah, yeah. Maybe I have related question, what you both of you just answered. Okay, so let's say you are settled in your job, you got the job, you started working. So in how many months can you consider to invite your family, and what would be the right time to have your family here, start their process? So how is it basically?
So, I mean, like after getting the job, you are, I mean, like entitled to bring the family. I mean, start the process of visa, family reunion visa. But I took some time because I need to, I mean, like find an apartment as well, because I have to submit those documents as a mandatory thing while submitting the family reunion visa. So, yeah. So once you done with your blue card, then you can start the process, and then it takes again 3 months for them as well to get the visa.
Yeah, that's true. Like, yeah, that's true that setting self is like you can settle down, but bringing a family takes a bit time because of this kind of bureaucracy. Like you have to have many documentations from your say, for example, your say uh, where you're staying apartment or anything. So again, the visa side also a little bit of say time taking, especially during this process. Maybe I think when the situation gets cleared, maybe that takes less time. Maybe 6 months. Yeah, 4 to 6 months should be good enough time.
Yeah, that's what I was coming on to. Like you said, once you have the blue card, you have to search for the apartment, and then when your family applies back in India, they also need some salary slips which you have to submit. And considering all these factors,
Right.
maybe like you said, 3 to 6 months is enough. Like after 3 months, you can start the process for your family back in India, and then they can join you within 4 to 6 months, because visa processing duration depends on the city where they are applying for the visa back in India. So, Raman, how is the job market in your sector?
It's we have much more demand than before.
COVID has brought in a lot of opportunity. Is that the case?
Yeah, I can see a lot of startups evolving with regards to the cloud market and other DevOps market as well. And still, I get, like job notifications in my LinkedIn, even though I've disabled it. I get the messages from various employers very frequently, 5 to 6 in a week.
Okay. And so, like you already mentioned, the reason is that because COVID has happened, and then startups have more opportunities to expand their business. They are coming up with the new business ideas to be innovative to accommodate with this virtual working space.
Yes, and especially the COVID make the companies to think to move towards the, like digitalization of the companies and the projects.
Yeah,
So a lot of cloud opportunities were evolved in this time. Yes.
perfect, perfect. And how about you, Siddharth? How is the job market?
So the job market for automotive engineers or mechanical engineers is not so much as before because of this COVID situation. So things have a little bit changed, and the job market is not so much like yeah before. It was more, and now it's a bit of slack because of this corona virus stuff, and maybe in future it can change. Yeah, so it also depends on say what type of skills you have. So for a mechanical engineer, for example, if you are a production or any production, those jobs are maybe a little bit less as per my experience. But on the design side, if you have, there are I'm not saying the jobs are completely not there, but there are there, but you have to search for that. So it's a bit of slack. Maybe in future it will be positive.
Yeah, totally get it. Totally get it. Okay, so Raman,
Yeah.
what kind of technical skills do you think somebody work on when the person is looking for a job in Europe, whether the person is in Germany or whether the person is located outside Europe? So, what kind of technical skills the person must focus on to get a job in a profile similar to you?
They have to get specialized in any one of the cloud platform. That's a mandatory. And with supporting to that, some DevOps tools. And I would say the Kubernetes or Docker will be more advantage in the current market.
Okay. And how is the case for you, Siddharth, considering you are from automotive and design engineering background? So, what do you think in terms of technical skills?
Technical skills of mechanical engineering is design and simulation. Those are, say, more opportunities are available for them. Okay, but right now it is not like so much like because of these bad market conditions. But these are the most say required areas in Germany.
Like
Yeah.
some tools, maybe you can mention some tools and skills the person must have, like technical skills.
Okay, the tools I would say like Katia or say Creo and SolidWorks. So these are some of the designing tools that most of these manufacturing companies uses as an automotive design engineer. And like for simulations, maybe ANSYS or say Abacus. So those are the simulation tools that most of the people use here. So considering that if you have these skills and if you see some opportunities right now, and that's good that you can apply for that. But yeah, these are the most yeah, say required tools and software knowledges that you should possess to get a good job in Germany.
Okay. So when you say, both of you guys say that, okay, so technical skills, definitely person must be having that these kind of technical skills. So I would assume that when you're talking about these tools, then I would assume that you are talking that the person is well versed in these technologies, in these tools, so that the person can stand out from the crowd and then present himself very well, so that interviewers are interested, right?
Yeah, so in my opinion, I think a person should have at least a minimum of 5 to 6 years of experience to even qualify for these areas.
Mhm.
So this is the requirement, like 5 to 6 years of experience. That's what the people consider here. The job market for those guys are, a little bit higher than coming with 1 or 2 years or 3 years of experience. Is a little bit, I would say, on the downside.
Okay, and the situation will be little bit different in case of cloud, Raman, right? And what do you
Yeah,
think?
yeah, I mean, like same. I mean, like they should be well experienced. And first of all, here in Germany, they look for minimum 5 to 6 years of experience when they hire from India.
Okay,
And in the recent times, I have some friends who have been hired directly from India as well for similar roles. But I mean, like only because as we have more demand here, they started looking out of the Europe country as well to fill the positions.
okay, okay. But yeah, I totally agree with you guys that okay, you have to be well versed. And again, in my personal opinion, definitely experience, number of years matter, definitely.
Yeah,
But the word well versed would be more relevant, I guess, because in the past I had a interview with one guy who is from the data analysis and data science background, and then he came here in Germany with just 2 years of work experience. So but again, I used to speak with him sometimes, and then he told me like how much efforts he had put in, like before every interview, and even without even an interview scheduled, he used to practice a lot of things even there is no interview scheduled, and then he worked on himself so much so that he's able to prove okay, he carries those skills. But definitely there is a traditional way you work for 5 years and then you get to know in and out of those skills, those tools and technologies. But yes, if you really want to come, if you can prove okay that you carry the skills, it doesn't matter you have the less number of experience, then it is possible. But it's going to take lot more efforts compared to the person who is having 5 to 6 years of experience. That's what I have felt, what I realized.
And also depends on the area which is working. So somebody who is working on the niche skills, like what you said, data analysis, so those are the new trends that are open here in Germany. So if somebody is having less skills in that, so I don't think so it doesn't matter how many years of experience he have. Maybe 2 years is more than enough for that.
Hmm.
So but it also depends on the type of skills what the person has.
That's also must be considered. Totally agree with you. Okay, so my next question will be, do you like the work culture here in Germany when you are, because it's been almost 6 to 7 months, both of you are working here. So how do you feel about the work culture here when you are working? Raman, yeah.
the work culture is the one makes me more happy than the personal life, because I mean, like here they're so friendly and completely work oriented, and they won't. I mean, like much better way. I mean, like compared to India, and I can feel that in many ways.
The work culture is definitely very nice, very good, very professional, and also like there is one important thing: when you work with German people, then you should know German language, especially for my area, like in a mechanical engineering background. So a lot of people don't speak English here. So one of the important skill that you should carry is that you should have a good grasp of German language skills when you're looking for jobs in this automotive industry or any design field or anything. So and if you possess that, and that way you try to communicate with the German people that okay, you are also trying to integrate into the German work environment and so on. So that's very important that one should possess these skills. And on the work culture itself, they are very professional. They start the morning at around 6:30. They come to office and they end the office usually by 4 o'clock. So they don't take much of break timings. like maybe 5-10 minutes, and even they eat the breakfast and also um, the lunch in their own space, sitting just for 5 or 10 minutes. And so it's a something which is very very different from what I've seen in India. So we have some specific timings for lunch and specific break timings and so on. So here it's much more like everyone is more focused on their work and try to finish whatever the work is there with them. So in that sense they're very good. So
Okay.
yeah.
So are you liking it, this kind of discipline in your work life now?
Yeah, I'm trying to trying to change my really. I mean, it's 7 months I'm working here continuously, so I'm trying to change it to the German work culture. So yeah, so coming at 6 o'clock, maybe that's I have to make it new. I have not started that, but I go to office around 7:30 or so. So you have a more time in evening, so where you can spend your leisure time. So that way, the work culture is completely different. Yeah. So you work, and then in evening you have more time for your personal life and so. So
I think I would like to add few points here because and also ask you to both of you a couple of questions because then the like the people will not understand what you guys are trying to say here. Okay, so first, when you say 6 a.m. you have to reach office, right? Yeah. So
6:30.
yeah, then I'm sure you are leaving earlier than 4 in the evening, right?
Yeah, some people. Yes, if the travel time is yeah, it depends on the travel time, right? So when people are
So,
staying
I would
maybe half an hour or 1 hour.
I would like to interrupt you here. Forget about the travel time. Okay, so because it's your choice where whether you want to stay closer to your apartment or you want to stay away from the apartment, right? But then
Correct.
the question is, when do you leave from your work? That's more important so that people can decide accordingly. Okay, what's the situation? Yeah. So like,
So when you leave, like for example, there is a total of 40 hours per week you have to work in Germany. So it depends on per day you have to work for 8.5 hours, and say for 4 days you work on Friday. Usually people work a shorter time, maybe 6.5 hours or so. So they try to keep that 40 hours of work timing as a fixed time
yeah,
in
and
a week.
I also want to add some one small point here. You are right. Okay, you have to work 8 hours and all that. Yes, like those guys have no right to ask you. Okay, to work for 10 hours or so. But yes, it's your responsibility to understand the deadlines. Let's say if something has to be delivered, and then maybe once in a week or once in a month, maybe you are also working for 10 hours. It will not happen always, but yes, that is the possibility. But you said it right. Okay, discipline is there, and then you are more productive, and then you can, if you are coming at 6:30, definitely they will be okay to leave if you are leaving by 4 or 3:30. And as you said, you can also even leave at 2 in on like on Friday. You can even leave in the afternoon, like 1 or 2, for example. But then you, at the personal level, you must be serious about what you are doing, and then nobody must have to think to ask you, okay, you have to deliver this thing. So that's the kind of the message I think you want to give here. Or
Correct, correct. It's right that it's that whatever things that have been assigned to you and the deadlines, that definitely you have to follow that. So and most of the things like it can be finished within that 40 hours of week or whatever duration you have. So you can usually fit that your work in that 40 hours per week and so on. So
perfect.
I mean to that only. Yeah.
Okay, and one last question related to the follow-up question basically. So, is your company is a totally typical German company or is it an international organization? How is it?
My company is typically German company, so it's a all of the people. I told you, right, it's a mechanical production company, so it's a completely a German culture company. So it's not an international company. Maybe yeah, things might be different for an international company. So but I would like to say about the German uh, where I work. So
Yeah,
I really don't know other companies.
things are totally 100% different because I myself I worked in Germany for 8 years and I worked for 8 years in Germany in an international company, which is not a typical German company. But yes, I can tell you the work environment was totally opposite what you said. Yes, but
Same
now
here. Yeah.
that's what I am coming to this question, Raman. Now, so maybe
Yeah.
like you said, you are happy, and then people are friendly, like you said, and but on the other side, Siddharth is saying something else. So maybe you can also tell.
No, I'm not saying people are not friendly,
No,
but
no,
this is the discipline they follow. People are very friendly and professional, so don't get me wrong.
fine, fine. So yeah, I want to have the clear message for the audience who is watching this video. Like there is no rule, okay, if it's a German company or the work environment is like this. There is no such definition. It depends on the company, it depends on the company culture, it depends on the kind of products you will be working on, it depends on the kind of people you will be working on. So these things define how is the work environment going to be. Okay, and what kind of top management do you have in that organization? What is their background and where they are coming from and what they want to achieve, whether they have aspiration to go international. So those kind of things are involved here, and that's why I was digging so much deep into that so that I can further take the Raman's input into that, because he's also working in Germany and then his experience I'm sure are totally different. So maybe Raman, can you say something here?
Yeah, as you said, my work culture is completely opposite to Siddharth. I mean, like, we don't have any time bound. I mean, like, specific time, but people usually log in by 8 to 9:30 a.m. and usually logs off by 4:30 to 5:30 around. I mean, like, it's not like you have to log in every day this time or something like that. And we don't have the German language to be mandatory. I mean, like, everyone speak English, as we are international company and we have like developers and other I mean, like, companies also working together from various countries like Serbia, Russia, and France, US. So we follow English as a common language in my company. And yeah, apart from that, there is no work pressure at all. And I mean, like, the deadlines are decided by ourselves, so we can provide the uh, the reasonable deadlines, and we can set it up ourselves when we accept the task. So you don't need to work extra time or go beyond your work hours or anything like that.
Yes. Okay. You mentioned about deadline. Totally, I totally agree. Okay, you have to give the estimation. I totally agree with that. Once you have given the estimation, it's going to affect the complete follow plan which will be followed afterwards. So once you have
Yeah,
given the estimation, then you have to stick with that. And for
yeah,
that, you might have to put extra time or whatever. But yes, nobody is forcing you. But still, the person must understand the responsibility. This is what I understand from you, right?
yeah. That's what I mean. Like, they give you like this product or this project is your own responsibility, and you work with your own. I mean, like, you are the boss for your project. That's it. And only for people management, the top management will get into interfere. Apart from that, you want that. I mean, like, you should take your own responsibility of your project, and the escalation should not happen at any time. That's the thing.
Okay, so you are into individual contributor role.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. Then maybe guys who are watching the video must notice that in the individual contributor role, you will have to you will see the differences how you are working and how you are coordinating with others. Siddharth, you mentioned about the punctuality. So can you give an example like what kind of punctuality you are talking about here in terms of coming to office or in terms of attending the meetings, or maybe you have some other examples you want to mention?
So I would put in a nutshell that punctuality is something which Germans are really proud of, and they really follow this. It doesn't matter whether it's a personal life or a professional life. Even you go anywhere outside, like for example, the buses you wait, then it comes on exactly the same time. And for example, in you tell to any of your friend or some colleague that we are going to meet at some particular time, they expect you to come at that particular time, not even 5 minutes late, because they feel uh, you are not respecting their time, because this is a typical German culture. So that we have to adapt. This is no other way. So we cannot come 10 minutes or 15 minutes late and then we say sorry. Maybe first time it's okay, but later on they try to make some kind of judgmental, like, okay, this guy is like, he comes always late. So that's not really good. I think once a person comes to Germany, then he will try to learn all these things. It's like now or soon or late, he will definitely going to learn this. And in professional life also, it's better that you follow the rules of the company. What it like, for example, the if all the guys in company comes early, for example, maybe before 7:30 in the morning, then it's better that you also follow in that group, so you don't stay away from that, because again, it's not good. So you wanted to work in a work culture where it's, everyone works together, so it's like that. So in that sense, I would say punctuality is something which you should follow when others are also doing.
Yeah, I feel that punctuality is not just related to the work culture; it's related to the complete German culture. Everywhere, I mean,
Correct.
like office or any government appointments, everywhere you have to be on time. Otherwise, it's not good.
So it's required in both work culture plus the German. It's a German attitude.
Yeah,
Let's
Right, exactly.
Yeah. And another thing I want to add, what you just mentioned, Siddharth, like you cannot be 5 minutes late, but you cannot even 2 minutes early. So that's another point I, I would prefer to mention. You
yes, true.
if you have agreed for 9 a.m., then you are there 9 a.m. Not at 8:58, not at 9:05. So that is the kind of expectations here, especially when you are talking to a German guy. Definitely, if you are talking or in communication or meeting someone who is out, who is not a German national, then things might be different. But in case you are going with a German guy, whether he is your friend or whether he is your colleague, so be careful about that. Okay,
Yeah, that's true.
yeah, and
Yeah,
then
and yeah, I have to add one more point related to this. Sorry, Sandeep. So, and sometimes if you, I mean, like even though if you extend your work time, and then to complete a task or something with it, I mean, the topper management thinks that you are not capable of completing the work within the time. So
oh,
they might think in this way as well.
yeah, that
That's
could be
true.
the case. That definitely could be the case. But in my personal opinion, that would not always be
All
there.
the ways. Yeah.
Yes, but yes, to some extent, it could be the case. So the
Yeah. I mean,
person.
like 1 or 2 days, if you extend your work, that's fine. And if you're extending the work for all the time, then they might think like this.
Oh, perfect, perfect. And how is the Raman? That's the question for you. How is the German learning expectation from you by your organization?
I mean, like they support me for learning the German as I need it to survive in Germany. But again, when it comes to work, it's not mandatory, so they don't force or anything like that
So
for my company.
long term, you are planning to learn German because at the end you have to deal with the German bureaucracy, and then you want, let's say, you want your kids to settle down here, and then you want to take care of your family in a better way because your kids will be learning German in the school, especially they will be. Learning everything in German, so English will
Yeah.
be just a subject. So in that sense, you must be already focusing to learn German, I guess.
Yes, I'm learning German now. Yeah.
Okay, perfect, perfect.
In my condition, Sandeep, I would like to add that it depends on which environment you are going to go. For example, if it is a completely German environment, then you should definitely learn German before going to the company itself.
Company.
Because yeah, because uh, maybe you can talk in English or converse in English if somebody is also helping you to talk. But when you are in a group, for example, in a meeting or so, then you are completely left out from that meeting. You don't understand a single word if everyone is speaking, in meeting. So, in
Yes,
that sense, I would say that it depends on where you are going to work and how that complete culture is about. So,
yeah, yeah.
so
Again, you're right. So it depends on the mix of people who are there. Let me give you an example. Like, let's say you are in an international company, but then there is a team of like 4 to 5 people. Let's say that is just an example, and two or three of them are Germans, right? Then you will find that okay, when they are talking, they will speak in German. So that's another point you raised. Very good. That though, let's say you went for lunch together, for example, five of you. Okay, because now
correct,
you guys are working Raman is working virtually mostly as far as I know, and then you are working physically in the office. So that's why
correct.
yeah, right. But when you physically go to the office, you go for lunch, and in that case, it is highly likely that the guys might start speaking in German. So you must know, okay, you must understand them so that you are catching up, and then you are able to mix up with them, and then you are, maybe you want to take your relation to the next level with them, right? So it all depends on like how your situation is. So the person must be prepared for that.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay, so question to you, Siddharth. Anything you didn't like here in Germany and why? Whether it's related to work culture or maybe something else. Anything,
Uh,
anything
Most of the
personal
things,
you can
yeah,
share?
I have nothing as a dislike in Germany.
Mhm.
So most of the things are I like it because the environment or the work culture and the people who support you, and they are very good. So I find everything is good, but there are some things which you cannot expect the same as you were there in India. So because of this German culture, so you have to change, adapt to this German culture. For example, like a simple, you cannot go to any bank and just ask some questions because they ask you for an appointment. And this is completely strange when you come from India, that you have to take an appointment for each and everything. Yeah, even if you wanted to visit some person, or you wanted to see some apartment or anything, you have to go and take appointment with him, and maybe a doctor. Or so these are the things, are cultural differences that we have to get adapt into. So I would say I did not like anything, so I like everything, but the thing is that we have to get adapted into this. Yeah.
Okay. What
Yeah,
do you think about this, Raman? Yeah.
yeah. In this case, I accepted Siddharth. I mean, like I don't say it's like I don't like it, but I have to start getting used to it with the process and appointments and paperwork for each and everything.
Just to add on that, basically, yes, if you even want to have some information from the bank, either you call their customer care and then get that information, then it is possible to get that information randomly. So, Siddharth, my next question is, how is the work-life balance?
Work life balance is very good. So as I said initially, that people start early and they try to leave the office early. So in that sense, you have a fixed time of work, and also in after 4 o'clock, then you have your own personal timing. So in that sense, I would say that work life balance is the best here. So work and just enjoy in the evenings and so on. So I would say this is the best. So very in India is completely different. We start the work at 9 o'clock and we work till 6 o'clock or maybe 7 o'clock. Just so we don't have much time of a family life. But in Germany, you have that option available. So I would feel this is the best possible work-life balance you can have in Germany.
Okay, Raman, what's your take on that?
Yeah, same. I mean, like we have a very good work-life balance, and employees never expect you to touch your work-related things on the weekends. Or I mean, like you have a lot of time, especially in this COVID time, as we don't go to office. Everything is work from home, and we save like a lot of commute time as well.
Okay, perfect.
That's true.
Yeah. So definitely this is COVID time, and definitely you have a lot of time. So I'm sure you have the limited options or limited opportunities to have your own personal time, like going out. For example, I can tell you like in summers, let's say it's summer, I can tell you like if I come back from office, maybe I can still go out with family. Maybe I can consider, let's say I'm coming at 4, then I can still go for us. I can take my kid to the swimming pool or maybe some other sports activity, right? So, have you noticed any kind of such activities, especially in these COVID times? Like, what do you think? Like, what is still possible? Definitely, or maybe it's not good idea because the situation will not remain like this forever. Maybe normal time. What do you think? What possibilities will be there after work so that you spend quality time with the family?
So I would say that so in Germany we have a lot of open spaces. It depends on which city you're saying. I think most of the cities have a lot of leisure places like parks, or places where you can take your children or your family and sit and just enjoy a walk in the evening. And also there is a lot very good places for shopping. Not now, but I'm saying maybe if the corona is over. Yeah, so there are a lot, just walk in the cities and enjoy, say evening, just snack or anything. So In that sense, I would say this is very good leisure activities are available in for family here.
And do you think same, Raman, or you want to add something?
I mean, like same. I mean, like there is no much opportunity at the moment to explore around Berlin. I mean, like the only place we visit like usually is like Sand Park in the evenings for the baby. And apart from that, we have the zoo open and few other places like big parks, open spaces only.
Okay, okay. So that means,
Maybe if you have a longer holidays or so, then you can visit to other different places, like for example Paris or anything, but just a weekend trip or that's possible. Like, and many other places you can travel in train itself, maybe 1 hour or 2 hours journey. Just you can plan your day from morning till evening and you can come back. So in that sense also Germany is not so big, like you have to travel so long, because of this availability of trains, and the transportations is so very good in Germany.
okay, yeah, perfect. So overall, like you can go with your kids or your family and go for some their training activity, swimming pool or something, whatever. And then there is also option for hiking or biking. You can go for walk, and then you can go for shopping, right? So these kind of things. Okay, so you mentioned some of the things which I think I would like to ask. Okay, so you mentioned about the holidays, Siddharth, right? So I would like to know like how many holidays do you get, and then how often can you take those holidays? And then you also mentioned about earlier the planning part, like you have to plan everything, right? How soon you have to plan holidays, and then and what about the sick leaves? What is the concept of sick leaves? And then maybe more what's your take on sick leaves? So maybe mention about these things.
Okay, so there are totally 30 holidays available here, and we have to plan our holiday planner at the start of year. So the year starts from January here. So the start of year you have to plan, not exactly, at least approximately when you are going to take. So maybe if people try to take some. There is a concept of called bridge holidays. So when there is a Thursday, there is some festival and it's a public holiday, then people try to take Friday as a bridge holiday. So they take holidays on the Fridays so they can have a batch, like a block of 4 days. So there are total 30 holidays in that, and sick leaves are like it's a completely sick leave. So sick leave is like it's not deducted from these 30 holidays. That's what I experienced. But back in India, when we compare it with Indian say working leave aspects, then sick leaves are also inside this 30 holidays. So they are actually detected from uh, your leaves. So this I came to know very late, and I find it very useful, and it's completely different here. So this is actually sick leave is a sick leave, so that's logically it's right way of doing it. So I liked it.
Yeah. And do you think differently, Raman, about it, or what about the planning part in your office? Because I'm sure there is a completely different scenario in your case. So
I mean,
what's the
like the holiday allowances are same as he said, 30 days, and apart from that, sick leaves are allowed. And planning, we don't need to be planning so early, like 1 year before and all. We can just plan like 10 days maximum. It's fine. And yeah, and you have to, I mean, like arrange for a backup for your project if you're going for a long vacation. So these are the basic, I mean, like things you need to follow while taking a vacation.
I just want to add a few things. So yes, especially for IT companies, yes, like it's better to plan at least 2-3 weeks in advance. And for a typical German company, like Siddharth mentioned, yes, you have to plan well in advance, right? So, but again, in most of the companies, yes, at least whether it's IT, non-IT, 3 weeks advance planning is definitely must, I would say. Okay.
Yep.
The second thing about the number of sick leaves. So, as per the law, I don't remember the exact duration right now, but yes, I can give the estimate that you can take up till I think 70 or something 70 weeks of sick leave If you are on sick leave, then definitely a lot of things are involved. Medical certificates are required. You have the your valid reason. You are not in a state to work or and all that. But yes, in total there are much more to it. I can shoot a complete video on that, but at the high level I don't remember the exact number. But yes, it is possible to take up till 70 something sick leaves, 70 something weeks of sick leave. It is possible. So are you missing something which is related to Indian work culture? Maybe Raman, you would like to answer first.
Yeah, the only thing I miss is like the bond we have with the colleagues and the friends in the workplace is not happening here. I mean, like here, when it comes to work and the colleagues, it's only related to the work. And post work, you won't be maintaining that friendship what we do, what we have in India. That I miss here.
Okay, and what do you think, Siddharth?
That's true. Yeah, I would also agree with Raman on this point. Like people just are very supportive in the working, and they are like help you everything, but it's up to that work culture or the working environment. And after say when the work is over, then just they don't have much of a personal connection. So in that sense, in India it's more like you try to connect them personally. That's the cultural difference that we have from India and here.
Okay, yeah, that's totally right. I still want to add few point, like 2 points here. Okay, so it depends on what's my experience. Okay, let's say you are in a typical German company, and then you are talking with a German, you are working with a German. Then yes, building a bond is a basically time taking process. And then yes, it's not that you can't make a bond with German. Definitely, you will find a lot of German friends. It is
Correct.
possible, but again, it depends on where you are and what kind of what kind of discussions you are having, and then a lot of factors are there. But it is possible in case of.
Yeah, I agree. Yeah.
And say, I'm coming back to your point, Raman. So definitely, as you are working mostly with non-Germans, as far as I understand. But yes, in that case, having a bond is bit easier to have over a period of time compared to when you are with the German. It is possible, but again, in your case, unfortunately, you are working from the day one. You are
Yeah.
working from work from home, and that's why you couldn't have that bond. Because I can tell you my example. Like we used to go for the team outings. We used to go for the we used to go for hiking. We used to go to the after work party. We used to go for the dinners. So a lot of options were there, and then yeah, you can connect with the person over the weekend or something. So it again depends on where you are. And then this COVID is definitely a big exception, and that's why they call it, okay, you have to have the virtual parties and all, which is definitely, I think, more of a concept than reality. But yes, that's true. And what are you guys missing in your personal life when you compare it within India? Like maybe Raman, you go first, please.
Family, friends, and food.
Yeah,
These are the three things.
yeah, true. And what's the solution?
Virtual meets and food. We have to wait till we go back there.
Okay, okay, fine.
Yeah,
So,
I also agree with Raman that these are the main important things that we really miss. What back in India it was just very easy, and now it's away from home. There's definitely we are missing so much about the personal life here. Yeah.
okay. Yeah. So then, yeah, this is the message for the people who are definitely watching. So just come with that kind of mindset. Okay, you will be meeting your family, your parents, your brothers, sisters, or whatsoever, like once in a year, or maybe once in 6 months, or maybe some guys also even go beyond 1 year. So that's you have to consider. And then also get used to make the things at home, cook the things at home which you used to buy outside. So that's the reality. You have to accept it and get used to it. So be prepared for that. Definitely. So people say that okay, Germany is very bureaucratic. So what do you think about German bureaucracy, and what do you feel about it?
So in my opinion, bureaucracy has again two sides. Like sometimes it's good and sometimes it's not good. Because in Germany you have a lot of paperwork has to be done for each and everything, and So that's a completely different from what you have in India. So in that sense, I would say in India it's more of an online kind of activities we try to do, like for example interaction with some government offices or any application applying or anything. But in Germany everything is on paper. So in that sense, I feel that okay, bureaucracy is having two sides. So this is what, it's good also and it's not so convenient for us.
Okay. So Raman, what do you think on this one?
Yeah, I accept that, Siddharth. And here the process is big, and a lot of paperwork is involved. And the most important thing is we need patience when you go with bureaucracy.
Okay, okay. But then I just think yes, you guys are right. Definitely things get take little longer, but then there are less chances of corruption or maybe some other things, and then you are on positive side on that front. You don't have to struggle for what you have right for.
That's true. Yeah.
Okay. So that's yes, it's positive and negative both. Okay, and so was it a right decision for you, Siddharth, to move to Germany, and why?
Yeah, I consider that this is the right decision for me to move to Germany because of this work-life balance and a better living lifestyle, and also, as I said earlier, that the the insurances or free education. So those are the things which motivated me to come to Germany, uh, and also having a good family. So we can see that our children can go here in a good environment where it's all more of like free education. So we don't have to worry to spend on money on those things. So I feel it's my decision is a right decision that I moved to Germany.
Okay, and what do you think, Raman, about this? Like, was it a right decision for you to come to Germany?
Yeah, it was the right decision at the right time as well, as I don't delay it for furthermore. And I was on right time in Germany where I had like more demand for my profession role as well.
So that means when you say delay, so what I understand that basically somebody who is preparing to move here definitely must put in all efforts right away. Shouldn't wait for another few years because you never know how it's going to happen. Like what's going to happen in next few years, how the market
Yes,
will
true.
be, how the demand will be, and then how will be the immigration processes. So right now processes are in the favor of basically who wants to move here can move if he is a skilled person, right?
Right. Yeah, correct. Yes.
Okay, and what are the differences in your thinking process in terms of like what did you expect? Like Germany is going to be like this and that, and when you came really on the ground, and how did you find it? So what are the differences? Like now you see in your thoughts.
So I would like to say that one main thing that people who wish to come to Germany is to concentrate on German language also, because initially it's going to be a little bit struggle if you don't know a good proper German language. And this is also in my case, this is a mandatory that you should speak in German.
So, but you are talking from the perspective of a small city.
Yeah, yeah, that's true. This also depends on which city you are going to get job or you're going to live, and you don't have choices sitting and applying for jobs, right? So you have to be prepared for that before, so that you are a situation where even if you go to some smaller cities where they don't speak much of English, so you can manage. Otherwise, I would say that if bigger cities like for example Berlin or Munich, so these are the cities where you can also manage with English language. But in the long term, I would suggest that German is a good, so that you try to interact with the people in the grocery stores or in the buses or asking for directions and so on. So in that sense, I said this German language is a good to learn. Yeah.
So if I understand correctly, so you mean that if you are in the small city, So then the processes will be a little bit more complicated for you, because in the small cities, the government offices, the guys in the government offices might not speak English so well, or they might not be interested to speak in English in the small cities. But in the big cities, yes, you have the opportunities to talk to them in English, and they if you can't communicate well in German, so they will be fine. If you want to say your message in English, they will still understand you and then respond to you in English. There is a high chance of that.
There is a high possibility that people, again, it depends on the circumstances. But that's what I said. Which city you are going there?
So there cannot be any rule which defines it, but yes, if you have the possibility to learn German, do it. If you don't, then it is okay. Still learn it and then try to be proficient even after coming here or over next couple of years.
Definitely, proficiency is not something which you have to have a profession to come here. You have to have that knowledge. That's it.
Okay,
Because ultimately, you are going to come to Germany to stay, so it will be helpful for you.
perfect. And what about you, Raman? So what
Yeah,
are
I
the
mean, like,
kind of expectations you had, and now what is the reality you found?
so I thought like when I was there, I mean, like it's very hard to manage without German here, but in Berlin, it's not true. I mean, like I can still now I'm managing without German only, with English. And second thing is like I thought German are not friendly. They are very strict and they're not. I mean, like helpful in nature, but it's not true. I mean, like they're very friendly and I have very good German neighbors. And the German officers in the government offices also try to help me with English if I don't understand German. So that was my wrong perspective when I was there.
Okay,
Yeah,
so it's
the
not
German,
only.
to add on to this, I would say that I also say the same thing what Raman said, that Germans are really helpful, or in the sense like even when you ask something for strangers any help, they try to explain you in a right way. So I would say that German people are really helpful. The image of Germans are strict and they are not cooperative, uh, maybe they are there but not all, so you cannot say that as a exception. So and general I would say Germans are really helpful. um, and also they are very disciplined. So back in India, we there are many things I can say. For example, starting from a garbage where it is thrown, so in Germany it's much more disciplined, where you have to segregate your garbage, otherwise they will put heavy fines.
So you
So
didn't
in that,
expect that thing. You didn't expect that thing. Okay, you have to do
these
this.
things are not expected in like in India. So when I came here, something which is completely different is these are some of the disciplines like that. Discipline things are very much followed in Germany.
Okay, and what about the day-to-day tasks at home, for example?
Day-to-day task, yeah, that's also uh, it's a completely cultural and then a shock. Back in India we don't usually do things like, for example, fixing something in home, maybe a plumbing work or an electrical work or just screwing or something. So we always have people in India, just you call that person and you come here and he does for them. But in Germany it is very expensive to call someone and do the things. So it is necessary that you learn those things and you do it yourself to fix something in your home, small things. Yeah. So otherwise you are going to spend a lot of money in doing these things. And also like yeah, you have to learn some good cooking when you're back in India, so that you don't starve here for Indian food. Otherwise it's very difficult to get whatever you want, like, and it's a bit expensive. You cannot go to restaurants daily to have Indian food. So in that sense I would say that people have some basic skills on the cooking, so
And
this will definitely help.
not only about cooking, like cleaning, and then the kind of facilities like home deliveries, which are very much possible, like so much so much availability of those home deliveries, or maybe like you already said that the hand workers, basically the plumbers or something. Plumber would be a little bit difficult, but yes, the basic things like have fixing the lights, or maybe doing some small stuff, definitely. Like you want to put something in the wall, maybe you want to fix some small things, you have to do yourself. So if you really want to, like, don't want to spend so much money on that, definitely. Okay, yeah, this is all, guys, and I really enjoyed the discussion with you guys, and it was fun, and it was so much useful, and you provided so much information based on your experiences. So yeah, thank you for that, and yeah, thanks for your time, and thanks for coming on the channel, saying yes to come again. Yeah, thank you.
Yeah, thanks,
Yeah.
Sandeep. Thanks for giving the opportunity.
Yeah, definitely.
Thank you again, Sandeep, for giving this opportunity. And yeah, thank you. Bye.